Today, we're going to talk about every single hero, the good heroes, the playable heroes, the meta heroes for individual role in Project Next. Let's go. Yo guys, how's everyone doing? Welcome back to Team Fam. This is your guy AssDave. Project Next is looking more and more confusing to a lot of people, and today we're going to unveil the secrets behind this Project Next, tell you which hero goes to which lane after the update so you can pick the right heroes and enjoy the game to the fullest extent. Before we get started with the list, I want to quickly go over the meta again. Due to the change where you can only buy jungle item if you have Retribution as a battle spell, the developer is forcing a jungle role in Mobile Legends. There's a lot of mechanism in the lane that kind of force a laner to stay in the lane longer, such as the extra gold by hitting the towers in the first 3 minutes, and we're gonna dedicate another video to unveil some secrets that you would not know just from reading the patch notes. So definitely stay tuned for that. But coming back to talking about the meta, since there is going to be a dedicated jungle role, the big meta after Project Next can largely be summarized as a top laner, a mid laner, and a bottom laner, and a 2 people jungle. You can also have a top laner and 2 people mid, and a 1 person bottom and 1 jungler. And these distinctions are largely due to whether the jungler needs help in the first jungle clear or not. For example, if you're playing a jungler like Ling, well, this person definitely needs a lot of help early game. Otherwise, he does jungle way too slow. You cannot help him, you don't have to help him, but that's just going to delay the jungler a little bit more. So with that being said, we're only going to talk about the main carry roles, the top lane, the mid lane, the bottom lane, and the jungle lane. Let's start out with the jungle heroes. Because the jungle heroes can only take a Retribution as battle spell, he or she need to have the following characteristics. Number 1, the jungle clear. He or she have to clear the jungle really fast. Number 2 is survivability. Can this person survive on their own? This is why I was so confused. Where is marksman gonna fit into the current meta after Project Next? Since most marksmen do not have the survivability on their own, and they largely rely on the teammates to help them survive. The next requirement for a jungler is definitely the damage output, right? Can he or she deal the damage necessary in order to carry the team forward? Now, speaking of all those prerequisites, in my personal humble and largely correct opinion, I think the following heroes can be used as a jungler. At least you should definitely try it and see how it works out. Now, do note first, all the heroes we're gonna list today are playable choices, and the sequence of the heroes don't represent their rank. Just because one hero is listed ahead of other heroes doesn't mean this hero is necessarily better. I'm just listing all the possible choices for you to try. Alright, starting with jungle roles, I have Saber, Alucard, Karina, Bruno, Zilong, Fanny, Hayabusa, Freya, Natalia, Monkey King, which is Sun, Yi Sun-shin, Lancelot, Helcurt, Jawhead, Gusion, Martis, Claude, Leomord, Harith, Granger, Esmeralda, and Ling. Now do note here, Freya, Jawhead, and Leomord, these 3 heroes can also be used in other lanes, so we're gonna highlight them as a flex pick. If you notice, all these heroes have a lot of in common. You're talking about the prerequisites we mentioned before the list. For example, Zilong can clear jungle, especially after the revamp. His jungle clear I tested in advanced server is actually okay. It's acceptable. And once Zilong have a little bit of farm, he can then rotate really fast from lane to lane, use that combo skill 2-1 and auto attack, somebody just dies instantly. In this list, we also have 2 marksmen, Yi Sun-shin and Roger. Those 2 heroes are a little bit different from other marksmen, since these 2 heroes can survive on their own really well, right? Yi Sun-shin has a skill 1 that immunes all quad controls. On top of it, he can refresh that role quickly. Roger has a form shift, he can go in to out very easily, he can dash, he can have a speed boost. I mean, this guy runs really fast and kill people really fast. Now, compared to all the other marksmen, for example, the reworked Clint, the reworked Laylas, and so on, right? They do a lot of damage in their lane, but the most important thing that you should consider is, can they survive on their own? Or if you send a tank to help them, what about a jungler, right? Who's gonna help the jungler? Unless you go with some really easy jungler, like Jawhead, like Freya, who can clear jungle very fast on their own. I mean, I don't see any other options right now in Mobile Legends that can clear jungle without any other people's help in early games, especially with the map design where people can invade very easily. So let's keep on going to the mid lane hero choices. In the mid lane, the hero have to fulfill a very important criteria. Can they clear wave, right? Can they rotate and protect towers? Because that's the most important. Another thing is, can they deal out quad controls, large AoE quad controls, or poke? For example, you get a heroes like Sicilian. He can clear wave really fast. He also does insane amount of damage. His skilling into the late game is insane. Another example would be Chang'e, who not only deal insane amount of damage late game, her early game damage is also really good, especially after level 2 when she has a skill 2 and skill 1 combo. But the point is, the mid laner really have to have the ability to clear wave. Since the jungler most likely are not gonna do that, the jungler are usually assassins and fighters, and they do a lot of single target damage, but AoE wise, they have to get in your face. And if they get into enemy space, there's a lot of chances that they might die in an instant. So for the mid lane heroes, we have Alice, Gord, Kagura, Cyclops, Vixana, Harley, Odette, Zask, Farsa, Chang'e, Lunox, Hanzo, Kimi, Kadita, Lilia, and Sicilian. Now, an interesting note, Hanzo is actually not a mage, right? Hanzo is assassin, but Hanzo is really not fitted for jungle since Hanzo doesn't really need retribution to farm. And his mobility is so bad, if anyone catches body, he's dead. With that being said, Hanzo is most fitted mid lane where he can clear wave easily, or after level 4, he can sit at tier 2 tower and use his ultimate to clear wave, or rotate to side with ultimate as well. Now, let's talk about experience lane, aka the turtle lane. The basic idea you need to understand about this lane is you want to fit the best hero that can fight early on. Whoever can benefit most from level 4 should be placed in this lane. For example, heroes like Kaja. After level 4, he has a game-changing ultimate, right? He can protect, he can kind of initiate, or heroes like Kaja. Right, after level 4, he has a suppression ultimate, the most important quad control in the game. The reason for that is, experience lane is also called turtle lane as I mentioned, and you want to have a hero who can reach level 4 faster and dominate that lane, aka controlling the area of the map around the turtle at 3 minutes. This way your team can have a better chance at taking down the turtle for yourself. Now with that being said, the best heroes I can think about who doesn't need a lot of farm but desperately need more experience to get to level 4 are Ruby, Hilda, Lapu-Lapu, Gatokaja, Jawhead, Kaja, Thamus, Xborg, Sylvana, Carmela, Popo, Yuzhong, Kali, and Barats. All those heroes I listed, they do not need a lot of farm, but they still do a lot of damage with their skill combos, and after level 4, they have a game-changing ultimate that can turn a teamfight around. Now do note, Sylvana and Yuzhong are two different kind of heroes, right? Because they can also play the gold lane. If you give Sylvana a lot of farm where she snowballs, she can do a lot of damage. If you give Yuzhong a lot of farm, he can snowball to a point where you can't control. I mean, this hero is just insane right now. That's why there's so much nerf coming after him. The last update in Advanced Server, they nerfed him again, which I don't think is going to change his hero much. Yes, the cooldown reduction got a huge nerf, but it doesn't affect this hero's mechanics. If you land all your skill properly, you still can one-shot somebody. You still deal a lot of damage in a team fight. So with that being said, let's move to the gold lane heroes. This is the lane that's opposite side of the turtle. In order for a hero to be placed in this position, most likely it's going to be a hero who has the ability to flank the enemy backline, who can also carry lane and split push really well, who can stand some ground on their own, right? Who doesn't need a teammate's help, who can come to the team fight and then make a difference. And those heroes are heroes like Chao, for example, right? Who's really good at flanking enemy backlines. I know a lot of regions like to run Chao tank, but personally, I prefer Chao played as a fighter where he has a lot of farm, he can go in one-shot a marksman. There are also heroes like Masha, Leomord, who can flank enemy backline really easily. If Leomord lands a combo properly, if he has a lot of farm, he can jump in one-shot any squishy easily. So for the gold lane hero choices, I have Freya, Chao, Argus, Uranus, Eldos, Leomord, Guinevere, Esmeralda, Dairoth, Masha, Sylvana, and Yuzhong. This are all the heroes that can farm really well and it needs a lot of farm. And if they do get a decent amount of farm, they will add oil to fire for the enemy side. It will change from a game facilitator to a game decider. I mean, we all know how scary Eldos can be if he's farmed. But do understand, if you pick a really weak hero early game like Eldos, he might be pressured in lane where he cannot farm really well. And if enemy team pressure that lane, Eldos might be pressured to a point he doesn't have any farm at all. All I'm saying is, in this list, we listed all the heroes that you can play in the gold lane, who can leverage the gold farm and eventually carry the team with. Now, as I mentioned early on in this video, for most marksmen outside of Eastern Shin, outside of Claude, outside of Roger, who cannot survive on their own, for example Clint, he does have a skill too. You can easily kill him with any assassins. Or just with a fighter side lane, where he come into the team fight, just easily flank that marksman like no tomorrow. So with that being said, personally, I'm still confused on where marksmen are gonna go. And when we dive deeper into Project Next, as time goes, we'll find out exactly where marksmen are going to go, right? Are they completely out of meta? Or are they into the meta, but maybe we've put Clint mid lane? I kind of touch up on this in the last video, but personally I think it's highly unlikely since Clint's wave clear is mediocre. His late game damage is really good, similar to Layla. Their late game damage is insanely good, but their early game have a lot of problems just to clear wave alone. And if talking about rotation, even if they rotate, they can't do anything at all. They do no damage early game. So anyways, what do you think about our choices today? What heroes are you excited to try the most? Leave a comment down below, let me know, and most importantly guys, like, subscribe, and turn that bell on to all notification bells so you do not miss a video, because so far that's the best way to get any notifications from our channel since my channel is still under YouTube algorithm scrutiny. So with that, love you guys, AssDave signing off. We'll see you guys next time. Bye now.
Just for the thrill of it, nothing counterfeit with you, just the thrill of it.